It's fourth Wednesday of the month, so that means it's time for
Bad host.
Andy's talk show. I've already gotten slapped. But, you know, that's a normal thing for the show. I normally end up getting slapped anyway.
Beat around.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, it's fourth Wednesday of the month. It's Andy's
Good
talk
evening.
show.
This is the Dollar Lawyer Talk Show. We have, my name is Jim Ranney. We have with us a very distinguished panel of volunteer attorneys. Attorneys.
Hi, and welcome to Baha'i Phone In Live. Coming to you live from Missoula Community Access Television, located in beautiful downtown Missoula, Montana. Now, here's your host.
Check. Oh yeah, we're on right now. You're watching Ask Scott. We're going to be doing a live phone call-in. Our number is right there on the screen, 721-6014. I do have a special guest today. His name is Scott Rappaport Ramp. He's awesome. He rocks like
I'm Shane, and this is Walmsley, and Scott, let's just say, he got attacked by a jaguar.
That's sort of an inside joke, ladies and gentlemen. So, anytime you guys want to call, maybe make a comment, maybe make some kind of thing, I don't know. So, Scotty will be joining us pretty quickly. He's just got to do a little
Hello, I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access TV, inviting you to this special edition of Missoula Live. I'm on holiday in New York. I hope everyone's having a great holiday here in Missoula. This program is going to go on through, January the 12th, thereabouts. And in it, we wanted to show you some of the programs from the MCAT vault that involved call-in shows. Call-in shows are pretty interesting for a cable access system because it's one of the few areas where people at home could be watching a television program and actually get involved very quickly. Some of you may remember C-SPAN had call-in programs where they have lines dedicated for Republicans, Democrats, or independents. And it was probably quite a feat to get on that national program. At MCAT, over the years, a number of people have offered call-in programs, and they've gotten lots and lots of calls. In the main, I would say those programs were for fun. They were mostly undertaken, as you'll see in the next hour or so, they were undertaken by teenagers who wanted to know who else was watching. And surprisingly, a lot of people are watching MCAT programming as at least designated as indicated by the number of calls that we would get during a call-in program. So the first program I want to show you is one called Dial a Lawyer. This was a pretty early in MCAT's 25 years call-in show. This one had a serious purpose. We're going to show you an example from August the 25th, 1993. The show's host was Jim Rainey, and he had other volunteer attorneys on this program and a UM law professor. I understand from what he's pronouncing anyway that there's Scott Burham, Bruce Wilson, Cindy Smith on this show. And of course there were disclaimers, where they're saying they were just offering advice. It was not binding or legal advice and so on, even though they play lawyers on TV. So here from 1993 is MCAT's Dial a Lawyer program.
One of the distinctions between the Justice Court and the small claims is that there are no lawyers allowed to litigate or to present your case in the small claims division. However, either party can request what is known as a removal from the small claims to the justice court. There are jurisdictional limits for the amount of claims. Generally, it has to be a claim in justice court of $5,000 or less. And I'm not certain of this, but I believe that the jurisdictional limitations for small claims are $1,000 or $3,000. And the way to go about filing is just to go up to the justice court, which is in the Missoula County Courthouse, and the clerks up there are most helpful.
I know there have been a raft of statutes passed. I spent some time just reading through all of them. The new provisions in Montana law run several hundred pages of statutes, and I'm not sure anybody fully understands all of that. I know I don't pretend to.
Well, Jim, I think one aspect of the caller's question the law is quite clear on, and that is that the right of visitation and the obligation to pay support are independent. That is, the person who has custody cannot deprive the other parent of visitation just because that person has not provided support. That's absolutely clear. So if and courts are very reluctant to deny visitation, so if visitation is being denied, it's got to be for a very serious reason, endangering the welfare of the child that would not be related to the withholding of support.
Line 1, you're on the air.
Yeah, hi. There's an attorney in town here who is threatening to sue a preschool over the issue of gender equity. We're talking about 3-year-old and 4-year-old children. Could you give me your opinion on what kind of standing or how significant an issue like this might be of gender equity in a preschool?
Lawsuit, somebody has the burden of going forward and proving that they've got a valid case.
Well, if an attorney is threatening somebody with a lawsuit, does that mean that somebody has to be frightened? I mean, do people threaten? I mean, why couldn't somebody just sit down and talk this thing over openly and honestly instead of using a threat of a lawsuit? I don't see the point of a threat of a lawsuit, and I wonder why this attorney is just threatening to sue this preschool. I mean, would there be any reason for this?
Well, one concern that I would have, if it seemed to me that somebody was making an improper threat, there are definite sanctions in the rules of civil procedure. In the rule, it's called Rule 11, against what are called frivolous claims. When an attorney and their client signs a complaint, and that term has been, I think, pretty well defined for us here this evening, they are averring that they have a pretty good basis for making that complaint, and if they don't, then the court can impose sanctions on both the complainant or the plaintiff and the attorney. And so that would be at least one sanction that would deter frivolous threats of lawsuits.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you very much. That's very helpful.
The next program we're going to show you was a call-in program made at MCAT for a number of years in the later 90s. This program was made by teenagers, and it was called Collective Effort. And the two names most strongly associated with this program, even though lots of people worked on it, as you'll see in the example, there are different people that are hosting different segments of this show. Collective Effort was the collective effort of high school students, and Mandy Halverson and Andy Thogerson, who also worked part-time at MCAT, were some of the principal organizers for this program. The program invites people to call in. There's tons of calls. The calls, like many of the teen call-in programs, the calls are not particularly directed. There's no subject. Nobody is asked to call in and weigh in on any particular issue. So the calls probably encourage the very same sort of randomness and vulgarity that the teens also seem to be trying to suppress, at least in the callers. You'll see the legend obscenity will not be tolerated on many of the collective effort programs that were made in this period. The other thing I wanted to tell you was, at this point in time, even though MCAT had some special effects in its arsenal in the control room, this program took advantage of chroma keying, where they were substituting one image in the background where the blue curtain was. So you'll see them use that to some advantage in this program. So here's an example from July 2nd of 1997, Mandy Halverson, and the program is called Collective Effort, the call-in show.
Hey, buddy.
You can't say that
You,
word.
you can't say that word.
All right.
You can't say that. And I have proven, I have documented, I have a fact here. I have a fact in my hand that says Sarvis is cool in that last color. He's a dummy.
Oh, that's great. Who the heck was talking about you? Dummy? Okay.
The last color.
Not
the guy in the collar.
We
got you.
I believe dummies are
Hey,
butt munchers.
God, quiet. Hey. Hello.
This is Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
McGregory.
Oh.
Yeah?
What's your middle name?
I know.
You don't know your middle name?
That's not Melissa.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Shut up, Sarvis.
They have
Everybody likes wrestling. I mean,
No.
it's worldwide.
Well, I know
Except
wrestling
the
is,
people
but
from
like
Sri Lanka. They're
like that fake
they got the
wrestling
least
stuff.
percentage of people that like it.
It's
People that like wrestling. None.
Sri Lanka.
It's actually
that's how you
Sri,
say it.
What
it's
about
Sri
Iceland?
Lanka.
Do people in Iceland like wrestling?
No, they like hockey
They
and
don't like
curling.
anything but snow.
No, they like jumping
Well,
volcanoes.
actually, they
just
like
have- like, wow.
I have weird
Call
sacrificial
911.
rituals.
Okay, we're gonna take a phone call.
All right. Welcome to Collective Effort. Do you have a question or comment?
Oh,
that
that
was
would have
money
been
for
cool
nothing.
though.
It sounded
No, but
Goodbye. God, what are we gonna do to him, God?
Satan.
Mandy, don't.
well, you know, it's not that hard to talk like a real person on the phone. Okay? We're not gonna tolerate that kind of.
I know, but the music was sort of cool once it started getting going.
Yeah.
I swear.
You should have. We will
They
not
hung up already,
tolerate
so she
stupidity or butt rock songs.
Thanks too much.
Wow. Dude, weird stuff.
Are you watching the TV?
Yeah. Whoa, it's cool.
Let's do a wave
Wow,
race.
there's lots
Okay.
of us.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
It's dirty down here.
They're multiplying!
Wrap it up. Bye bye.
Here, this is what the beep sounds like.
Warm it up, Chris.
I'm super almost done. Okay. Come on, let's all hold
Are you
down.
taking any
Music.
more calls?
We don't have any
Collective
music.
Effort, do you have a question? All right, it's already on. Okay, you just hung up on it, dude.
Jesus.
Well,
What, you should
this
just hung up
this
on it.
almost concludes our collective effort show.
Well, bye.
Yeah, sure, you betcha. What are you, Mandy?
No, I'm waiting for her to get off the phone. Welcome to Collective Effort.
Nicole.
This is Nicole.
Hey, Nicole.
What are you doing?
Doing a show.
What are you doing?
She ain't show up.
Yeah.
It's what? I've got turkeys. I've got turkeys.
Oh.
And they smell
Oh,
funny.
you want us to dance?
Yes, do crazy stuff.
That was Collective Effort with Mandy Halverson, Andy Thogerson, who worked at MCAT part-time. He was a high school student working at MCAT. Then he was a college student working at MCAT. He left MCAT and moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, where he's still thriving in the entertainment industry. So this show was called Andy's Talk Show, in which the battle against obscenity continued. And you'll see, borrowed from Collective Effort, the same proviso against the callers that says obscenity will not be tolerated. Now, you may be seeing two clips. We have two clips from one from January the 22nd, 1996, and another from April the 22nd, 1998. So it would give you a chance to see the progression, the sophistication, if you will, of Andy going from a high school student to a college student in those 2 years, and how he presented this program and what thread, if any, there is in the call-in. As I mentioned earlier in the program, the viewers have a certain satisfaction they can't really get anywhere else. They're watching a program on television, there's a local number displayed, they can call that number and instantly hear themselves on the cable system. So that interested a lot of people. A number of these shows would collect between 30 and 60 phone calls in a 1 hour period. And some of them were very challenging. I think you'll notice in Andy's talk show, a lot of the times whoever was hosting the show was accused of being gay. And then they would sort of sidestep that because they weren't particularly homophobic. But a lot of the callers, that seemed to be the sexuality of the presenters was something they seemed extraordinarily interested in, or they thought it was the most handy weapon with which to try to unnerve the hosts of the program. So there's a certain adversarial quality about these call-in shows, and they also reveal a little bit of the psyche, of random callers in Missoula at that time. So first you're going to see January 22nd, 1996, Andy's talk show, and then you'll see another clip that's from 2 years later, 2.25 years later, April 22nd, 1998, which was also MCAT's 8th year anniversary. This is Andy's talk show.
Mandy, the close-up. See? Purple. Look at that.
A little bit.
Kind of looks...
Oh, there it is.
That is definitely purple, my friend Paul.
Good job on the camera crew.
They're doing a great job. Julian, he's new on camera, Julian.
Let's give him a hand.
Hi. Oh, Julian. You're doing great.
Beautiful work.
Well, what's your show about, Andy?
You know, we haven't really figured that out yet. We've been on for about a year now.
Yeah.
It's been a year.
Hey, yeah, it's my 22nd birthday on Friday. What should I do?
What should you do for your 22nd birthday?
What should I do Friday?
Friday, your 22nd birthday. I have no idea.
What?
No, my girlfriend.
You and Vi Thompson, I heard.
Oh, Vi Thompson and me got together. She's one hot mama. She's a grandmama, actually. I'm telling you. So, we gotta move on. We got another call, but thanks for calling and thanks for the encouragement.
All right, no problem. Maybe I'll see you guys out tonight.
Rock on.
All right, man. Bye.
Hello.
Jeff?
Yeah.
This is Ken.
Hey.
Ken, remember Ken?
Yeah.
Oh, is this a different Jeff?
No, this is Jeff.
Jeff, this is Ken.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, the reason I'm calling, I won't be able to pick you up because I have to pack. I haven't even packed yet.
Okay, you know you're live on TV right now?
What's that?
You're live on TV right now?
Excuse me?
Said you're live on TV right now.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Jeff?
Yes.
Dude! Dude, come in! We're losing you!
Hello?
That's not funny.
Well, I'm doing a talk show, and you just got put on live.
He just got put on live. He's like, I can't pick you up, and my toilet's backed up.
No, I picked up...
They're just tearing up the house?
Yeah, keep spanking himself up. They just won't do it.
You're spanking your monkey now? So?
He's been a bad boy.
You know...
He's got more than one monkey.
I find a lot of people spank their monkey when they watch this show.
Wow. You must be that attractive.
I spank mine more than you think, buddy.
Yeah, and everything you're saying is going over the air right now.
Really?
Yeah.
So 10 years later, after Andy's talk show, young people are still attempting to do call-in shows on MCAT. The next one we want to show you is called Rabid Sand Crabs, and the joke about that was supposed to be that sand crabs always looked like they were rabid, that their mouths naturally had some sort of foaming material on it, so that you could never tell if a sand crab was rabbit or not because they just looked that way. This show was in the main put on by Kurt Scrivseth and Eric Stahl. Kurt is still around on the Missoula scene with Eric doing music. I saw them recently in the summer of 2014 at the various local Saturday markets. These clips are from 2007, 2008. You'll see in one of them, if Scott chooses that part of the clip, where now 10 years later, after Andy's talk show, they're still being assaulted by the public in some instances for the program, and they're also attacked, and the main instrument attack is questioning their sexuality, implying that they're gay. They used different technology. So in the 90s, there was no internet, there was no caller ID. So you may see in this clips that they're using caller ID to show to potential callers that they can find out who they are. So what they seem to be trying to do is instill some sort of integrity by removing anonymity from the comment process. Now, mind you, of course, there's nothing particular they want anyone to comment on. There's no structure. There's no question that they're asking people to answer. There's no topic of discussion. So it's still a pretty interesting scenario where I guess you would call this user-generated content. The volunteers are at MCAT. They're making their volunteer call-in show, and people are volunteering to call in, and some percentage of them think the most important thing to do is attack the people that are having the show. So without further ado, here's some clips from Rabid Sand Crabs, a program that Kurt and Eric put on at MCAT for about 3 years, between 2006 and 2009, Rabid Sand Crabs.
What's up?
I just called to hear your terrific guitar playing. I needed my bi-weekly dose, and so I'm going to sit here and listen to you guys go off the air.
Thanks.
You bet.
All right.
Bye now.
Merry Christmas.
Nice. Blue jean baby, LA lady. See, she's for the band.
I won't try to work if you call in.
Pretty eye, a pirate smile. You marry music man. Ballerina, you must have seen her. Dancing in the sand. Now she's in me, always with me. A tiny dancer in my hand.
I like it.
Jesus freaks out in the street, handing tickets out for God, turning back, she just laughs. The boulevard is not that bad. Piano man, he makes his stand in the auditorium. Moving on, she sings the song, the tune she knows, the words she hums.
Words. Something like that.
But oh, I feel so real, lying here with no one near and only you. And you can hear me as I say softly and slowly. Oh, because a tiny dancer, lay the headlights on the highway. Lay me down in sheets of linen. You had a busy day have seen her dancing in the sand. Now she's in me, always with me, a tiny dancer in my hand. Oh, I feel so real, lying here with no one near and only you. And you can hear me when I say softly, slowly. Hold me closer, tiny dancer, and count the headlights on the highway. Lay me down in sheets of linen. You had a busy day today. Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Count the headlights on the highway. Lay me down in those sheets of linen. You had a busy day today. Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Count the headlights on the highway. Lay me down in sheets of linen. You had a busy day today. Shiggity schwa, schwa.
All right. No one can complain that we've never finished a song on the show.
Yeah, shut up.
Go us.
Yeah.
Go Team Venture. That's weird. That's really hard to aim, actually.
I just realized how homosexual that is.
Oh well. Can I have some water?
No.
Our next series is called Wingless Rats, and it was created by our own staff member, Scott Ramp, years ago in 2006 and 2007. Scott also used a call-in feature in his show, but he directed the callers more focused to respond to a trivia that he said was a junior trivia that wasn't really hard for people to answer, but they had the fun of calling in and hearing their own voice on the television. So take a look from 2006. This is Scott Ramp's Wingless Rats.
Hi, what's the question?
One of the hottest chicks in the 50s, 40s, whatever, and she died early. She was blonde.
Marilyn Monroe.
Finally, yes!
I knew
Marilyn Monroe is correct.
I know.
I just had to say it because some people really can't hear the phone.
Of course. I understand.
Okay.
You want another question?
Sure.
What the? Oh, I got an inspiration right now.
That's not right.
Oh, okay. Okay, this guy recently died. We're trying to get stem cell research approved.
Oh, I don't know.
He's a movie star.
A movie star.
That became paralyzed later on in life.
Oh.
I know, but I can't.
Superman.
And he talks through.
Superman.
Christopher Reeve.
Oh,
Bingo.
Christopher Reeve. Bingo was his name-o.
That's your kid.
Well, he's the boss. Hello?
Hi, you're live.
Hello. Hey, is this Shane?
Yes.
Shane, I'm in your grandma's room.
Oh.
At St. Pat. She says hello.
Hi, Grandma.
Hi, Grandma. Did you hear that?
How's she doing?
She's okay. We would like Wamsley to quit reaching for the phone because Shane, you're doing a bang-up job, and he's just kind of obnoxious, so.
Oh!
I mean, that way we need to hear the callers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, thumbs up, right on.
Say hi to my grandma for me.
We will. We'll give her a big hug for you, okay?
Thanks.
Grandpa says hi, too.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Who's that?
No, that was one of the nurses, I think.
40 pounds.
Really?
Hello?
Wes Craven.
Yes, you're right.
Wes Craven is correct.
Now ask another question.
You want another question?
All right.
Yeah, play the keyboard if I get it right.
Nice.
You don't want him playing that.
Not now.
I'm sorry.
Fine, I'll do this one. Titanic.
James Cameron.
No, I mean the actor in Titanic.
Dude, that's so easy.
I know.
Leonardo. DiCaprio.
Okay. See. Now, this is hard.
Hello?
Really? Good.
Okay.
You go do that.
Well, see you later.
Just like Mr. Hansel said.
Have a good life.
Here's a look at a very early call-in program that MCAT had for many, many years on Friday nights. The program is called Baha'i Phone-In Live. This group of religious people in Missoula styled themselves as Baha'is under the covenant, and they had a very specific set of religious beliefs that were centered around Missoula and the Montana area. This group was in the news a little bit because they often predicted the end of the world coming multiple times. It didn't end when they said, but then they regrouped and added another time. There were also other instances of Baha'is, particularly the spokesperson Neil, who you'll see in this clip, predicting various things happening in the future. And the show ran long enough for them to come back and make claims that their predictions were indeed accurate. So here's a long time, but almost forgotten program on MCAT called Baha'i Phone-In Live.
And there's good people and there's bad people. It's not all what you think. And I'll tell you.
Exactly. That God made CIA agents too. And the hearts of men are the home of God. But in order to find out God's covenant, that Jesus said he'd return, he made a covenant, he gave us a criteria so we could recognize the return of Jesus. And we have faith, a Baha'i faith, but it's based on proof. Now, do you know what the meaning of the word Christ is? Have you ever come across a definition for that?
Yes.
Or what was the one that you are familiar with?
Thank you very much. You had to put me on the spot, didn't you?
Well, if you don't remember right this moment, that's okay, but if you want to say so, you can.
Maybe you can comment for me.
Okay, there's a lot of people aren't taught what this means, or they don't come across it.
And
So,
I'll be honest with you, when you say your comment, I'll tell you if it was yay or nay.
okay, so that some thinks it's the last name, like Joseph and Mary Christ of Bethlehem Lane.
No.
Okay, but I've had people tell me that.
No.
And argue me into the ground that they were right.
No, it's symbolic.
So the word Christ itself comes from a Greek word, Christos.
Yes.
Which means to anoint, like to christen a ship.
Always comes from, yes.
Or the Catholics get christened at a certain point. It goes, "Rrr," and falls on the ground. "Rrr," and the farmer's like, "Hey, what are you doing to my mule? What are you doing to my mule?" And the dean says, "First you have to get their attention." And so the people of the generality are not paying attention. They are inebriated on the material things of this world and materialism and the substances that go along with that. They're inebriated on materialism. And this deprives them of the spiritual. Because their intellect, which is designed to know the spiritual, is now so inebriated with the material things, money, power, greed, aggrandizement, politics, corrupt religions and churches and these things, that they are unable to use their intellect to grasp the spiritual. The people that have made great innovations, whether in science or government or the arts, they have had to sacrifice the material, just the same as the prophets of God had to bring forth these spiritual and intellectual fruits and wonders. So therefore, we're going to have a calamity. And after the 1 hour of nuclear war in which a third of mankind is killed, a meteor will hit the earth. It's prophesied. The earthquake will happen that will be so great from this, all the cities of the nations will fall, And the fourth and final wind of destruction, all following each other like four waves of the sea, will be this earth-shifting crust. And then, and only then, when the material is removed, that we have detachment, that we can get into the spiritual things. See? And Joe has some more stuff to say on this.
So our latest Missoula call-in program, at least from public producers, was provided by Dennis Curtis. Dennis is an actor, producer, director in the Missoula area, a longtime Missoula producer now, who came up with an idea for a show that had kind of foolish premise, but it was called Ask a Criminal. So Dennis would come to MCAT studios and style himself as a criminal. And apparently, being a criminal, he had various bases of knowledge for people to call and ask him about. So in this clip, you will see Dennis pretending to be a criminal and people calling in and asking his advice on various matters. This is Dennis Curtis in Ask a Criminal.
Hey, man, I don't know about your costume on Halloween. I think you just need to take off the mask. You're freaking up the way it is, dude.
I'll tell you what, I'll take the mask off for $500. Hello? Still there? Nah. Got my 22. Got my little sheath knife. Yeah. Retirement is so much fun. Yeah, Colonel, what do you want?
Hey, man, those aren't real guns, are they?
Why don't you come on over and we'll find out. I got some duct tape. Duct tape you up. Smack you around a couple times. Oh, wait a minute. I can't do that. I'm in retirement. Welcome to Ask a Criminal. As you can see, I'm the criminal. I need to get a refill on my drink. Be right back.
It's the reality that $760,000 of the mill levy election happens to be current operating money. In addition to that, we still have to prepare for those new students coming in, and that means that there will be additional teachers needed to be able to educate those children, as well as our increased costs for doing business for next year will be an approximate increase of $250,000. Thus, the board is looking at a possible reduction somewhere between $1.1 and $1.2 million. If you'll focus on the chart, you will see that it is broken into two parts, the first part being administration and support, and the second part being instruction. As Maureen had already pointed out, you will see that we are pretty lean administratively, so we've taken a look to see whether or not we could take additional cuts in the administrative area.
However, it's very difficult for us to fund sabbaticals when we need to hire someone to replace that teacher who's gone part of the year. It's very difficult for us to fund them if we're uncertain what our budgets are. Even at the best, our budgets are pared down, and we realize the importance of sabbaticals. We've also increased other opportunities for re-education of teachers, the pupil instruction-related days, the seminars that we send them to in their specialty areas. Sabbaticals are an important part of re-education and keeping our teachers current. It's just a question about what the level of budget is.
Well, I've heard that figure tossed around, and I think a number of people may attribute that to Dave Lewis out of the governor's budget office. And the $55 million, I really have not received direct information on that. What I understand that possibly could be is an increase if all school districts across the state of Montana could increase their budget to the maximum that they are allowed by law, that being the 4%. There are quite a number of school districts, however, that would not really do that, and Target Range might be an example here in the Missoula area, because if they were to increase their budget by 4%, that would mean a voted levy of around $140,000. They feel somewhat strongly that they would not pass a levy at $140,000, so they would offer to the voters something less than that. In terms of the increase to Missoula County High School, the increase next year for Missoula County High School and all of state sources is about, it ranges depending upon the value of the mill, but it's anywhere from a $40,000 reduction to about an $80,000 increase, and that's for all state sources across the state.
Good evening and welcome to a live call-in panel discussion about First Night Missoula. My name is Michael Marsalik and I'd like to talk about the event tonight and encourage participation from the community. This is a live call-in program, and after a few moments we'll be giving out the phone numbers and asking you to join us. I'd like to introduce our panel tonight. First of all, myself, I'm Michael Marsalik, of Drum Brothers Drums and Missoula resident, and I'm on the board of directors of First Night. To my left is Graham Douillet, the executive director of First Night Missoula. Deborah Bond is an artist in our community as well as vice president of First Night. Tori Fracke is a Loyola student and as well on the board of directors for First Night. And David Burt lives in St. Ignatius. He's a pastor and also president of First Night Missoula. I'd like to maybe start by, I'm sure there's some of you that have heard about First Night or some things about First Night. I'd like to start out by maybe asking Graham to talk a little bit about what is First Night.
First Night is actually, it's not a new concept. This is something that's being done in other cities worldwide. It's 18 years old and it's a time of celebration, a time to ring in New Year's Eve differently with the community by offering alternatives to our traditional New Year's Eve revelry.
And he was telling me about this event that he was familiar with and thought that maybe it'd be a nice thing to experience here in the Missoula area. And it just sounded wonderful. And Graham and I met, and then Deborah joined us, and we have just spent some time talking with people here in the community, trying to build support for it, to see what ideas they had for making this event unique to Missoula. And from there, it's sort of grown.
The place is downtown within walking distance, and they'll be revitalized, I think, by having this opportunity to stay open long hours on what often is a very dreary day in the middle of our deadest part of winter, when we often have whiteouts and it's 20 below zero. We can all bundle up as a community and laugh and sing and dance on the sidewalks as we walk back and forth to the different venue sites.
It's an opportunity for the community to unite and become one in the celebration in the winter, and to love each other and their arts at the same time.
It's a high quality event, and these activities would eventually work into activities throughout the downtown area. As Deborah hinted upon, the venue sites would be sure your theaters, your auditoriums, but also your churches, your storefront windows, your shopping centers, a way to enliven the downtown area. And we're inviting artists to be creative and putting forth thought and ideas. And anybody, because this is for you, we want to hear your thoughts. The button that you see, there are some buttons here that from some other First Night cities would be the admissions ticket. And it's designed to be affordable. We want the event to be accessible, and we also want to be affordable. For about the price of a movie ticket, people would have access to these events. Pick up your schedule. You pick up your program, you look in your program, there could be 15 different events happening at one given time. Pick your choice. And then evening, a way to ring in the new year.
Thanks for watching this little cavalcade down MCAT's production history of call-in programs from 1993 all the way to 2014. If you would like to make a call-in show, we still have the equipment here at MCAT to provide call-in and feedback and viewer comments or viewer discussion. So give us a call at MCAT. The number is 542-6228 if you want to make a call-in show in 2015. For MCAT, I'm Joel Baird. Thanks for watching.